Hello everybody. Welcome back. And hello YouTube, internet, everybody. Love to see you watching me play uh, Suzerain. It's a new indie game from what the looks of it. I've read a little bit about it. I'm interested. It's a text-based game and you become a president. You rule and try to rule a country. So let's see how this all play out. I may also took this to become a better speaker. I'm trying really hard to be a bit better speaker. So let us just jump straight into the game then, shall we? New game. I don't really know a lot about this game, but only thing I know, you will become a president, and you can become like democratic, dictator. Oh, I forgot to read that, and everything else. That's much better. I should have done this a long time ago. And my run, I most probably maybe not be able to but I really want to test it out. It's like authoritative democracy. Like the president has a lot of power, but should be very fair. I don't know how these games will allow it or not, but I would be really interested if I'm able to do that. You open your eyes to this world. Let's begin that again. 1908, Kingdom of Sordland. You open your eyes to this world. You came from a wealthy family, Lockhaven, middle income family, to the Holsord, impoverished family. That's actually good. I think I'm gonna pick a wealthy family in the city of Lockhaven. Your parents named you Anton. As the only child of a successful businessman, you had the chance to grow up in a wealthy family. Left overseas at first, and you had the best education money could afford. However, things inside Ryan family changed due to the absence of your father. This has affected you, your mother, and you negatively. The years passed, I mean. September 9th, 1923. During the history class at school, the bell started to ring unexpectedly. You heard a loud commotion outside. As everyone tried to figure out what was going on, the principal announced the historic revolution. The kingdom was no more. The Republic of Sordland was born. I'm 15 years old there, right? Yeah. You did not fully understand. You were happy that you had the day off, and you were somewhat worried. I did not fully understand. 1926. 3 years later, after graduation, you passed the university exam with high marks. You had the opportunity to choose between several studies: law, economics, or history. For a more authoritative, more than I think, yeah, law should be. Yeah, let's state law of university. During your first year, I attended a lecture with David Wisisi. He was the well-known diplomat from the foreign ministry and the son of the president. Would you look at that? After observing the hall in silence, he explained how Supreme Court is obstructing justice in Sordland. He stated that laws should be applied fairly and that even the members of the Supreme are subject to the same law. Yeah, yeah, that's correct. They should be fairly. You question what you've been taught, and you could say, ooh, I agree in principle. Soldiers entered the camp on May 22nd. What would you look there? Coup of 27. Soldiers entered the campus in the evening ahead of the first election. Many were shocked as the uniformed men created a security cordon and started arresting the teachers. A group of students started gathering in protest, along with your best friend Peter Vectern. You decided it's unjust, so yeah, I will protest with the student. I will be right back. Now I'm back. Sorry about that. Let's continue on. One of the officers made a loud announcement that echoed through the campus. General Lurdrin declared martial law in order to restore the administration. Please stand back and disperse to your rooms. You joined the students that slowly marched towards the large group of soldiers. Suddenly the soldiers charged. A student fell and was trampled as everybody was running away. You held your ground. This is injustice. The soldiers beat you relentlessly. It was a gloomy year. The arrested teachers were replaced by those that October 10th, 27. The arrested teachers were replaced by those who were prompted conformists to the state. Also turned a blind eye to the things that were planning. You didn't want to stay idle. You decided, a human rights group, a student council, a political. I want more authority, so I think student council. So it's the best choice. The council was focused on increasing the student involvement on the campus, along with the partaking in the budget. Through active participation, you gain budget management and leadership skills. There we go. One of the meetings, Peter introduced to one of his friends, Monica, who was volunteer for the Swordish Leagues of Women. You were immediately attracted to her intelligence, beauty, diligence. Take diligence. The politically charged environment led you join the Red Youth, socialist, in nationalistic, the Young Swords. Stay away from any political organization. Should I be like neutron? This is actually tough. Should we become like more nationalistic? But I'm gonna be more socialistic. The Red Youth. June 2nd, 28. The radio relayed that Communist General records from the Ludrin and his troops demanding their surrender. The refuse and heavy fighting broke out across the country. You just could not believe it. The army was fighting among themselves. So they plunged into chaos. Rickettson's attack caused more instability in the country, but compared to the fascist Ludwig, he was a real socialist. This convinced you to partake in the support march you were chanting. freedom, equality, and solidarity. You were marching under the protection of Rickard's soldiers, the student opposing the coup gathering a few hundred meters in front of you. Many nationalists among them. You knew something was going to happen. You stayed. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna stay neutral, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And the council was focused on increasing the student involvement budget. Campus along with the partaking. The council was focused on increasing the student involvement in the campus along with partaking the budget. Through the activities participating gained you budget management and leadership skills. One of the meetings Peter introduced you to one of his friends. Monica was volunteer. Diligence. The political charged environment led you. Yeah, like I thought about it a little bit. Socialist, nationalistic. Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from any political organization. June 2nd, 28. The radio relayed the Communist General Rickard Sordland and the troops demanded a surrender. They refused. Heavy fighting broke out across the country. You cannot believe the army was fighting among themselves, so plunges into the chaos. The clashes escalated in the full-blown civil war, and the horrors made you isolate yourself for a while. The monarch helped you cope, and love grew between you two. However, it was a difficult time for love. The chaos must end. 29. Republic of Sordland. The charismatic Colonel Tarking Sol organized a sudden coup and brought an end to the chaos. He wrote a new constitution, restored stability. The people saw him as a savior. He formed the United Sordland Party and ran as presidential candidate in the first ever election. Yeah. Let's vote for him. USB won the election by a large majority. After graduation, you kept seeing Monica and noticed her interest to marry. However, a letter arrived from the military calling you to fulfill compulsory service. A devastating civil war broke out in the neighboring country, Wellham. The distinguished Mayor Iosef Lankea ordered you to lead your squad on a border patrol mission. It was a very cold winter night when you began marching out of Gumran outpost. You could see your breath. After several hours of marching through the snowy hills, distant noises were heard. Visibility was too low to confirm the source. The squad crawled forward in formation and found a spot to observe. A group of refugees has made it beyond the border fence. You let them slip through. Because I have to, like, people that are running away, you should help them. Like, they left everything behind. After the patrolman arrived with anger and immediately relieved you from your command, calling out disappointment. One of your squad members had reported your action after several months of scrubbing the floors as punishment. Your duties ended and you went back to civilian life. You and Monica decided to share your lives together after receiving the blessing of your parents. A ceremony was held in Holsord. During this same year, you worked hard to secure a high-paying job at the governing United Sordland Party. It was much more difficult to start your career on a good foot because of the refugees incident. But you still managed. Working for the ruling party was the easier path to power. The financial compensation was too great. It was the best easiest path to power. He became legal assistant to one of the more experienced members of the assembly. He worked long and hard, staying late at work, going through the hundreds of pages of legal documents. You will climb the ladder. Sol strengthened the republic by removing the institution and symbols of the Four Kingdom from society. Things were also looking up for the country as the massive economic boom continued and people were the happiest they had ever been in decades. Election time came, it was decided. The ongoing legal battle between the Justice Ministry and the Supreme Court put you under a lot of stress, but your significant contribution made the legal case triggered in an invitation to meet President Tarkung Sol himself, who offered you a key position. You were becoming the youngest member of Assembly. Our deal. Accepted right away. As the youngest MP, it was difficult to connect with the influential inner circle. You needed allies, so you put Peter as your right-hand man. The birth of your son, Frank, brought a brief moment of joy. Now, should you follow my father's footstep? Or sacrifice family? Family is very important. So yeah, sacrificed work. During your absence, Peter found trustworthy contacts and strengthening your position in the party. At the same time, President Sol increased his authority over the years. His growing acres started to cause strife within the party. The cracks began to show. October 45, President Sol barely secured a majority in the election against the opposition leader. Over the past years, people have grown discontent with corruption and worsening quality of life. Meanwhile, calls for united Southern Party Congress became louder and louder. Leadership struggles started to brew. Sidelines. Turner position. Keep support. You know what? He became more corrupt. So yeah, internal opposition. This is the path. You give your support to Edward Oliphant, a reformist, a talented businessman magnate who was the main contender for the party leadership. Meanwhile, in the desperate effort to secure votes before the Congress, President Sordland was meeting party member, but he didn't approach you. The party Congress was nothing short but impressive. The banners of United Soldiers were decorated in every possible spot. Thousands of influential political figures, lobbyists and benefactors gathered for this turning point. The voting for the party leadership began. Of Alfonso, this is 46, 4, 8, 12 years. Ooh, he's been like for very long. But Edward Alfonso. But he did something correct. The efforts bore fruit. They contentiously voted for one Edward Alfonso. During the Congress, Sordland announced his retirement from politician. You knew the structure he had established was to stay, and the country had become increasingly authoritarian. You should I be troubled, happy? No, I should be happy that he left because he was corrupt. A month later, your daughter was born. Monica named her Diana. She motivated you during tumultuous period in the party. General elections were approaching. The United Sordland Party was under the new leadership of you. Yeah, I campaigned for him. During the general election, 49, the main opposition was embroiled in a sex scandal with his secretary. He was replaced by a strong opposition figure, Franz Richter, but damage has been done. The extensive privatization program proposed by election victory for the United Sordland over the next year. Try climb the did your best in order to make Sordland a better place. That's what I should do. The presidency of Edward Alfonso saw many bold reforms, but it was followed by serious economic recession. Another parties announced their bids for 53 election. Thought your party could not survive another crisis. Together with Peter, your presence grew and you became the face of the new wing in the party. You effectively took over the leadership as president of lost control over the country. Can move you. Should I advise or blame him? But he was mainly for the economic crisis. So it's more out of his control. So I advised Alfonso to step down. He didn't take advice seriously and started to reshuffle his cabinet, but most inner circle abandoned him. Your diplomatic attitude made the party vote you in as the leader. Following this, you announced that you would be running for the president in the general election with Peter as your running mate. It was your turn. Alright, it's getting closer. After visiting every city and town during the campaign, you made a speech on state evolution you promised. Diplomatic reforms. The people are tired of the empty promises. We found a fundamental change in our institution have come. A solid and transparent democracy awaits us. Brothers and sisters, a new constitution and a new age is upon us. The broadcast ended. On the election day, millions went out to cast their votes. Time to face the truth. Rise to Power. Chapter 1. President Reign. Oops. Prologue. Got an achievement there. Oh, can I switch? Balding long. Bald. Stylish. Gentleman. Clean shaven. Like the same bird as me. This we're gonna go with. Attire. Tuxedo grand. White suit. A white suit. Black glasses. Brown glasses. Thin glasses. Is that the only thing? Maroon, red, turquoise. Then we go with the office. Hairstyle. Long. Maybe movie star. I like that. Stylish. Gentleman. A hat. White trilby. I'm thinking about this. Or movie star. I think I'm going with the hat. Done. I will not be able. Then yeah, movie star. Done. Yes. Election promises. As Anthony, you have made many promises to the people of Sordland in order to gain their votes. They must be considered very carefully. Sordland's economy has been based on our planet since its formation, with the formers and will once enact the free market reforms. Now the confines is between the two different economic systems. Planned or free market. I don't know actually. I think they mean like the planned economy is like what the Soviets, the Eastern Bloc, most of their economy was, while free market was the more Western, American, Europe. Okay, I think I'm gonna promote free market. I honestly don't really know much the difference between them. Diplomacy, the intensifying global war between the capitalist Arcasia in the west and communism to Cortana in the east. No. And keep immigration relaxed. We also promised to focus on a certain extensive subject within our first term. People expect us to solve the negative situation within this topic while providing an overall health education. I picked law as the first, like I studied law. Like health is really good, education is really health. Since the 1940s, the difference in service quality between urban and rural hospitals has been getting increasingly worse. The average life expectancy dropped significantly. Education, the lack of schools, teachers, and even classrooms causes massive gap in the previous robust education. Increased crime is pushing law enforcement to the limits. I'm more like leaning on law and health and military. Actually, all of them. I don't know what to pick. I think like this has to point out in the future something big is happening, like health. Like maybe it's because we're still in Corona times and a pandemic, something like that. You have to improve it to be able to fix it. Education. I think this is based like in Europe in the 50s. It's very unequal between the sexes, so that has very likely has to be play a role. Law enforcement. I think that is. I actually don't know about that. What was in the 50s? Like it was, like, except it was more again. Minorities was much more. It was not easy for them, like the blacks in America. And basically, even in the Soviet Union, if you don't, unless you were with the party, you had basically no rights. Military. No idea actually. I have to think about it for a little bit. Military. Can I still move around? No, I cannot move around. I would like to see. I would say health and education are more the popular state choices. Law enforcement. I would actually take that law enforcement is more like in character with me. And military. So I think I'm gonna actually take law and enforcement. Pick this one. Yeah. 2 weeks have passed since we won the election, and now I was about to be sworn as the 4th President of Sordland. Thousands were watching the inauguration ceremony and cheering my name, Anton Rain. The die was cast, and here's my story. In the distant palace, what's this? Maroon Palace stood top of the famous Hill of Pride. I had no way knowing. Wait a minute, there. Okay, Maroon Palace. The Maroon Palace is the executive branch of the Sword's government in situation. It was constructed. The concept porter, turning point. Interesting. There's a codex here. That's like in the Second World War, where that famous picture with Americans taking one of the islands from the Imperial Japan was Iwo Jima. I think it was Iwo Jima. I don't remember. But there's only one soldier instead of several. Oh, there's a lot of things you could. King. Oh. I think I have to read a lot here. Alright, we're gonna take that. I look at my family, my son and daughter Frank, and Diana were next to Monica, my wife, and here was glimmering with pride. Diana Rain is the daughter of Anton Rain and Monica Rain. And Monica. A lot of things. And turn towards the key people who made it opposite. Of course, each individual was promised with an important position in my cabinet. As my thoughts slowly faded away, the reality of the situation dawned on me. Also, Hawke, the chief justice of the Supreme Court, was waiting for me. I'm gonna. The Supreme Court. The time ha... Oh no, I should have deep voice. Let's see if I can do that. The time for the oath has come. I am ready. It has indeed. Let's start. It has indeed. Please repeat after. Please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear. I do solemnly swear that I will respectfully execute the office of the President of Sordland. And to the best of my ability to preserve, protect, and defend. And to the best of my ability to preserve, protect, and defend the people, the Constitution, and the Republic of Sordland. You may now deliver your inauguration speech, Mr. President. It's an honor, sir. Dear citizens of Sordland, brothers and sisters, my fellow brothers and sisters, the idea of unity, the current dire situation, change and hope. We are under economic hardship like never before, and today our nation is falling apart. Our people, we suffer in this dire situation. Our capabilities. Yeah, if we send, can we prevail? In the past, there have been limited times of survival, times of conflict, and economic hardship too, but whenever we stood together, we prevailed. I promise you, we will stop the recession and eliminate poverty. The future awaits us. First, we must rewrite our broken constitution of 20. I think like 103 I'm thinking about. Yeah, I think I'll go with 1. It's time for ununited above Sordland once again. Change now, not in the next decade or years, today. I don't know actually which one I should want. Time for united and powerful soon once again. Change now, not in the next decade or... Our capacity of the nation has never been greater. I don't know about 3. It's, yeah, change now. Hundreds of thousands of cheered. They were shouting my name. In unison I felt the responsibility, the power and the burden all at the same time. Raised fist, wave, enjoy the moment. I think I'm gonna wave. Because that sounds like more fascist. Yeah, wave. I took a long look at the burn this moment in my memory. One of the presidential guards came to notify me I must have to leave. I made my way to leading our car to motorcade. The President of State car was jet black Carlia, with flags of Sordland above the front headlights next to it. A man was holding the door. Sir Walkner, hello, President. Still under the effect of the speech I made, hearing my new title made me smile. If you allow me to introduce myself, I am Serge, your new driver. Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure. The pleasure is all but mine. He respectfully bowed his head and before opening the car door and gesturing inside and into the car. We'll be heading towards the palace. The motorcade began to move. On the way, Serge proceeded to explain his duties as a driver. As minutes passed by, I found myself lost in thought again and barely paying attention what was he saying. Suddenly he made a gesture towards the now closer palace. Isn't it a beauty, the Maroon Palace? He was right. Sunlight glinted off the palace, many maroons colored domes. It was so bright that I had to look away. Every time I look at it, I am remembered of my duty to this nation. It's in good hands now, so do I after hope. It's in good hands. So do I. It's in good hands now. I am sure of that, Mr. President. The car drove past the majestic gates, continued uphill entrance and stopped in front of the doors. Since got out in the car and opened the door for me. Have a great day, Mr. President. I'm Morgan Vescore. He referred to famous swordist race from times of revolution. I'm more this stuff which I'm gonna reply. My footstep echo close. There's the save, and I think I'm gonna end it here for the first episode. And thank you very much, everybody, for watching. And we're gonna continue next time. Go look around the map. I want to see everything, and most likely maybe go. I think it maybe look at the codex by my own time a little bit, but thank you very much. Like, subscribe, comment, everything. I read it all. I like you all. Thank you very much. See you next time.